There's definitely moments I've cried, but not because of hijab, but more of like the worldly struggles of having to be a Muslim woman. You guys make it hard for girls like me who are trying to stay modest. So I was like, this is not working. I took it off. Do something for yourself and Allah will do something even better than that for you. At the end of the day, I'm literally just a girl. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Or shall I say assalamu alaikum, because obviously, hopefully I'm reaching the right audience with the title and the whole vibe of this video. The time has finally come for me to talk about my hijab. It's been 2.5 years, maybe not even. But before we get into the video, I would just like to say Ramadan Mubarak to everybody out there. I hope your Ramadan is going amazing so far. I pray Allah accepts it from every single one of us. So obviously I'm going to be talking about my hijab journey today, and I just felt like it was the right time, seeing as it's Ramadan. It just felt right. So as I'm sitting here right now, today is March 7th. So I've been wearing the hijab for about 2.5 years now. If you told 2020 Miriam that she would have been wearing the hijab for 2.5 years, actually she would have believed you, but she would have been like, oh my god, like we finally got there. The way I started wearing the hijab is so random. It was not intentional, but it was also intentional. I'm going to explain. So this is what happened. It first started in 2020. I'm going all the way back. Obviously I was born and raised Muslim, just so you know, but I schooled in Nigeria. I went to a Christian school, so hijab was never something that I wore except like I was praying, or like, you know, just in those like settings where you have to wear hijab. That's when I wore my hijab. But I feel like when I was like maybe 18, 19, I'm like, I used to say this thing where it's like, oh, I wear the hijab when I'm 25. Like I used to put like a limit on it, like, oh, I'll wear the hijab when I'm 25. Oh, I'll wear it when I get married. I used to say things like that, but God had other plans, thank you. Anyway, that was, I feel like in like maybe 18, 19 was the first time that I was like, okay, yeah, like I would like to wear this one day. But nothing happened till like 2020. In 2020 and 21, COVID happened, and I was like, you know what? Let me experiment. Like I ordered some hijabs, on culture hijabs, and I was like, okay, yeah, I've got this. Mind you, I was not like, okay, so back then I used to think like hijab was just covering your hair, but like, you know, your girl was not really like the most modest dresser, if you get what I mean. I had like a whole bunch of things in my closet that didn't really collaborate with the hijab properly, if that makes sense. So I bought these hijabs and I was like, okay, whatever. They came and I was like, oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, I love it. Immediately I was like, okay, I guess I'm a hijabi now. Literally, I kid you guys not, 2 months later, I think it was, yeah, 2 months later, I was like, I can't do this anymore. It just didn't feel right, like wearing it with some of the clothes that I had back then. I looked so off, and I was like, it's not merging well with what I have already. So I was like, this is not working. I took it off. But when I took it off, I didn't feel better, because it was still a desire for me. It was like, I do want to wear it one day, but like I don't know what's going on. Like when I do wear it, it's not feeling like how I thought it would feel. I wasn't wearing it properly, and I knew I wasn't wearing it properly. I feel like I didn't have it on for the right reasons. I don't know, that intention I feel like was a bit skewed. I wanted to feel right. It didn't feel right then, but like I still wanted to wear it even though I had already taken it off. It literally after 2 months I was like, yeah, it's not giving what I wanted to give. Emotionally, spiritually, and physically, it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So I was like, okay, maybe now's not the right time. I felt pressure while I was wearing it, because I'm like, I'm not doing this. Mind you, this was pressure that I was putting on myself. Nobody around me was putting pressure on me. I was the only one who was wearing it back then in my household. So I was just like, that's what it felt like. So when I took it off, I just felt like there was this like pressure off my shoulders. This self-inflicted pressure that I put on myself was finally off my shoulders. So I was like, okay. But then anytime I had the desire to wear it again, I would just wear it. If I didn't feel like it, I wouldn't wear it. And then I realized like months down the road, I was like, okay, I need to change my closet, because a lot of the clothes that I have in my closet actually clash with the hijab. That was in 2020, yeah. And then I just kept experimenting. I started following more hijabi influencers, just trying to find myself. Slowly but surely changing up my closet, and then buying more modest clothing, things that I knew I was comfortable with, things that I knew would help me better put the hijab on. This off and on, off and on, wearing it and not wearing it, wearing it and not wearing it. I did that for like 2 years. I was still in uni in 2020, obviously. So I graduated uni, and then you know, you're looking for work, you're looking for your big girl job, whatever. So I started like doing different interviews and whatnot, and then one day I get a call. And they're like, yeah, we would love to have you come in for an interview tomorrow. I was like, absolutely. This is the thing though, I didn't have my hair done. This is why I say it was not intentional, but it was intentional. It wasn't intentional, but it was planned by God, obviously, alhamdulillah. I didn't have my hair done. So I went to that interview with like a little wraparound, like a turban type vibe. 2 days later, I get another call. Oh, second interview, come in. I was like, of course. Still didn't have my hair done. So I went there with another like turban style vibe, and I ended up getting the job, alhamdulillah. And then before I started on my first day, I was like, wait, these people have only ever seen me with my hair covered. Like, they've never seen my hair. I was like, how crazy would it be for me to just start work and then like literally just keep it on? Basically, the reason I kept a hijab on was because I didn't have my hair done. So I covered it, and then I got the job, and then I was like, wait, I can't just start my first day without my hijab. This is in 2020. Let me double check that for you, because I'm not sure. This is September 2022. I was like, you know what, they've never seen, it's like the perfect opportunity. But the thing is, I kept it on every time I went to work. But I still wasn't too strict on myself, because back then I was still thinking, oh, when I feel like it, I'll wear it. But I didn't realize it had now become like an everyday thing, where it's like, oh, when I feel like it, I'll wear it. Became like, I feel like wearing it every single day. I went to work with it every day, yes, but if I came home and like, for example, like I left something in my car, like if I left my phone in my car or something, I would go outside to grab my phone from the car without my hijab. Like, for me, it wasn't that big of a deal back then. I wouldn't do that now, because mind you, we're 2.5 years in. But like, it was just like, if I needed something, like, or if I wanted to grab a package outside that was delivered at my front door, not like somebody's handing it to me, I would go without my head covered. If I started wearing it in September, I did that to like maybe January or February. So if we're saying, okay, maybe it's been 2 years and not 2.5 years, but like, you guys get the gist of it. Ramadan of 2023, oh my gosh, that Ramadan was actually so amazing for me, because that was my first Ramadan as like proper wearing hijab, and it just felt different. One, there was no self-inflicted pressure on me this time around. It was definitely like it didn't feel like it was something that I did by myself. Like, I definitely felt guided by God in that moment, and I'm very grateful. When I finally realized, I think it was February of 2023, that I finally realized, I'm like, yeah, I'm never taking it off. I'm never taking it off. I literally told my sisters, I said, guys, if I ever take off my hijab, something is wrong with me. Like, I'm not mentally okay. I'm not like, something is wrong. Check up on me. Like, and now I'm saying this on the internet. If I will never. I'm not sitting here and telling you like, oh yeah, every day is like so lovely, and there's definitely moments I've cried, but not because of hijab, but more of like the worldly struggles of having to be a Muslim woman. But I will tell you a story about one time when I cried. about hijab. So I had just put it on, and the type of girl I am, yeah, like if I don't like my outfit, I'm not gonna feel good. My dressing has completely changed. I feel like it's completely, I'm still trying to find my dress sense wearing hijab. It's the most difficult part about it for me. So when I feel good and I can express myself, like I feel comfortable and I feel covered, like it's an amazing feeling. So there was a time when I was shopping for clothes and I was scrolling online and I was scrolling and I was seeing a lot of the things that I would have bought if I was not wearing the hijab. And I was like, that's cute, but I can't wear that anymore. Like, so I'm like, okay, I keep looking, and everything I'm finding that I like is either cropped or has slits, or there's just some sort of skin showing through whatever it is. Before I knew it, the tears started rolling down my eyes and I was just so sad. I was like, God, how am I going to do this? I can't take it off again. Like, what am I gonna do? In that moment, I just felt so defeated, because it's like I'm alone. I didn't really know anybody else that was wearing hijab at the time, and I was just like, there was nobody for me to speak to. There was nobody for me to like ask, like, where do you get your clothes? Like, I had a lot of support because everybody supported me wearing it, but like I didn't have like anybody to relate to, if that made sense. Let's not even get into the modest brands, because why was I scrolling on the internet the other day and I saw a skirt for $350? Can we actually be so for real in the month of Ramadan and every other month of the year? Is that a joke? God is watching you. You guys make it hard for girls like me who are trying to stay modest to stay modest. Is it made out of the freaking cotton in heaven? What do you guys actually want from a working girl? At the end of the day, I'm literally just a girl. So that part was difficult. I feel like the only thing that I would have loved for me back then would have been to have like some sort of like relatability, if that is a word, whatever that means. But I started having like moments where I was like, oh, am I gonna have to take this off again, even though I don't want to? And I was just like, it's easier to just dress how everybody else dresses that's not a hijabi. It's just easier to dress like that. That's what most of, you know, these places that I shop at, that's who they cater to. Should I just like go back? But then I read my Quran and I got such a reassuring verse. There was just a whole lot of reassurance in that verse, and that was what made me keep on. This chapter I read every Friday, right? But this time it felt different because I felt like God was really speaking to me in that moment and reassuring me. This is what made me keep my hijab on. Another thing, if you're feeling like, oh, this is getting really hard, there's so much reassurance in your Quran. Read your Quran, guys. When you're reading with fresh eyes, there's different gems in it every single time. Even though you're reading something for like the millionth time, it could translate differently because you're going through something different in your life. And I feel like that's what that particular verse did for me. It's been hard sometimes, but alhamdulillah, like when you know your why, I feel like that just carries you through. That's what carried me through, because I felt like I know where I'm wearing this, and there's nothing that could ever knock down that why, because this time I know I'm doing it for Allah. There's nothing that could make me take it off. I just don't see myself taking it off like ever. And I couldn't say this the first time I put it on. That's why I took it off literally after 2 months. But now that I've been wearing it for 2 years, I'm very grateful, because I did not think like in 2020 that I would have it on for this long, because it was definitely something that I was so sad about when I took it off the first time. I understand the struggle with the hijab, and I hope everybody kind of finds their own comfortable space in it, because it's definitely difficult. But everybody's journey is different, and I just feel like that was what I was supposed to be doing at that moment. With that being said, for people who are contemplating putting on the hijab, we're in the month of Ramadan, yeah? Just put it on. Do something for yourself, and Allah will do something even better than that for you. I feel like I was trying and Allah helped me, and then he just like what's the word, like boosted me to where I needed to be to have it on. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm perfect at it. I'm not gonna say I wear it 100% perfectly. I'm still struggling with it. I'm still trying to get better in it. It's not something that I've regretted a single day since I put it on. What is the point of what I'm telling you? What I'm telling you is just try. If you have that desire, just do it. You might not want to go cold turkey. It's not easy to go cold turkey, because when I went cold turkey, I ended up taking it off after 2 months. Wear it when you feel like it, and then before you know it, you're gonna be wearing it every day. Like, at least that's what happened to me. Also, I feel like it's very important to ask Allah for guidance and make guidance easy for you, because it's one thing to be guided, and then it's another thing to stay, you know, consistent on that path. It's not easy. But I pray Allah makes it easy for every single one of us that are on the path, and for everybody that's trying to get on the path. I would love to hear everybody's hijab story. If you can tell me, please tell me. Tell me your hijab stories. I love reading hijab stories. I love telling my hijab story. When people ask, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you ready for this? Talk about being guided. And then I tell my story. So yeah, I would love to hear yours. Let me know what you guys struggled with wearing the hijab. If you want, I would love you to. Anyway, that's it for my hijab story. I hope this reaches whoever needs to hear it, and I wish you good luck with your hijab, and I'm praying for you. You're struggling, I'm struggling. We've got this, okay? If you need someone to talk to, reach out to your girl. Thank you for watching.